doing? So we've got a green-black Re-animator deck. So the Re-animator decks have two parts to them usually, right? So the Re-animator deck, first you need ways to get things back into play. So Eldest Reborn serves that purpose. And then you need good things to be bringing back into play. So we've got Giant here, which says when it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to opponent for each creature in your graveyard. And then we have Izoni, the Thousand Eyes. And then we've got other just generically reasonable green-black stuff going on. So let's I usually like to dive into just play at least 1 to 2 matches with the deck before I think about making any changes. So I'm interested to see how this goes. You ever thought of putting together a best of compilation? Yeah, actually, if you go to my website, there's a if you go to my website, there's a videos drop-down menu at the top, and there's a favorite section in there. So every day I pick one of the leagues that I play and I mark it as my favorite because it's got a sweet deck or sweet gameplay or good interactions or we learned a lot. So I know I make a lot of content and it's impossible for most people to watch all of it, but I do that. When will the solution to the 5th copy be added to Arena? I am in no way affiliated with Wizards of the Coast. When we do our sponsored segment later today, that is through the Twitch bounty board, not through them directly. I don't have answers to them. I know what you know. The reason I disabled YouTube comments on my YouTube channel in the past was because YouTube comments as a whole tend to be very negative, and for a long time I was not producing content as a job. I was making video content as just a fun hobby in my spare time because I liked playing Magic and I liked streaming while I played Magic, and it wasn't worth the amount of money I was making or possible growth I could get to have them enabled. Now that I am doing Magic content full-time as a job, it seems like I should probably make sure I'm giving myself the best possible chance to grow that content in whatever way possible. So if enabling comments and sorting through and removing and moderating the obnoxious and negative ones helps my channel grow, that's probably worth doing if this is going to be my job. This is not, so when we start the sponsored segment, the stream title will list sponsored in it. Wait, the solid thoughts suggested whatever you played. You're also a stand-up guy. Thanks, you sing. Alright, well those are not the lands I was looking for. The Assault God, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Welcome. No exclamation point, just cheer and then the number, Husing. I've actually only had to remove 1 person so far, and I'm sure that number is going to go up the longer we go, but if they put a second bird in there, we're gonna be pretty dead. Not a second bird, okay. Do you have a red spell? I appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me here. The folks that sub and donate, they're the reason I'm able to do this as a job, so wouldn't be here without them. All right, we finally hit the land. Hopefully Squire can help us find another land here. I'm trying to enjoy Arena, at least the sweet chat and our personalities help me to adjust what's going on, Anner. Hope you're having a good week. So, I think I'm shipping with the Branchwalker, because if they want to attack into these two, I'm fine with that. And if they, like, spend a shock on Seekers Squire, I'm fine chump blocking with Stitcher. It's a little awkward that this costs 4, so I can't kill it with Vraska. Why you just abrupt decay, Vraska? Why you just abrupt decay? We're very dead. Yeah, the Arena extension is just A+ fantastic. Alright, so remember when I said I mentioned I don't normally make changes until we've played with the deck a little bit first? This deck has This is the only way this deck can kill a Drake at instant speed in the 75. I'm going to concede this match and fix that. This week, I'm thankful for Jeff. Well, thank you for the 2 months, Chuck. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. All right, let's correct that real quick. Yeah, cast down, trophy. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good ways. I don't know that we necessarily have to have them in the main deck, but I guess we have Chupacabra to kill them, but that's not an instant speed, which is really what you want. I'm gonna cut these dead weights and then get some hot nonsense. Gain 1 life for each card in your graveyard. So this is like decent against aggro, but that's really expensive. I'm gonna put 2 cast downs and 3 trophies in my sideboard. Just like it is incredibly difficult, especially with how this deck is set up, to be able to straight up race the Drake's deck. So we need efficient ways in order to be able to take their stuff off the table. Let's get the stream decker updated and hop into another match here. I don't believe extensions work on the desktop app, which is really awkward. I don't know why they would make their own desktop app and then not have their extensions work on it. I scooped game 2 because this deck is constructed in a way that it can't interact with Drakes profitably. So we fixed that and are jumping back into the queue. Any argument for contempt instead? I think the efficiency of cast down and trophy is more important than being able to exile. So efficiency is a big deal in that matchup. So again, with these Phoenix decks and the Phoenix having haste and maximized velocity, you really want to be able to you really want to be able to interact with their stuff at instant speed and efficiently. Yeah, I understand that logic, but I think that that's too cute. Playing a card in that instance is you're playing a bad card to make your good card better. Your good card's already good on its own. Don't play bad cards to make don't play cards that are bad on their own to make your card that's already good better. Well, if we hit a green source, we can kill the Wild Growth Walker with the Vraska at some point. I'm gonna attack first and see if they take this trade. Perfect. Okay, that worked out for us. We do kind of have a curve, that's true. Could you explain why people play Maximized Velocity? They play Maximized Velocity because it allows them to steal games of Magic. It allows them to steal games where your opponent's just completely tapped out. And you just play your Drake out of your hand, play your Velocity, and kill them in one shot. That was a fantastic draw. It's a getcha card, yep. It's a surprise, did. I really like Maximized Velocity in the Drake deck. It's been very good in all my experience playing with it. Read. This Plaguecrafter is looking incredibly awkward.
An unfortunate.
Alright, so what am I doing here? Can't find Broker. I really don't want to play Crafter. I'm definitely doing that. Am I Necrotic Wounding this Eldest Rejuvenator? Yeah, I agree that so far this deck feels very awkward. And like, one of the important things to remember about Maximized Velocity in the Drake deck is that even when Maximized Velocity is mediocre, you can discard it with things like Charter Course. You could discard it with things like, Tormenting Voice and all these other things, or Jumpstart cards. I do get to Plaguecrafter their Dork here, that's true. This actually isn't good, right? I just like looking for a green land. I agree that we're probably going to end up putting the 3/1 in this deck.
Be like that, huh? Being ruthless has
Yeah, we've played a black-green zombies deck a couple of times on stream before that does that. Felt pretty reasonable. So we're dead. It's like ever beating these planeswalkers. Like Plaguecrafters never punching through. These are gonna like attack down my Vraska. I guess I can kill this.
what can I say? Death is cheap.
And we get 23 creatures in the bid, right? Yeah, that's what it feels like so far to me, isn't it? It feels like it's just an underpowered green-black mid-range deck. It's like, I've got Lotleth Grave Troll. I've got this Grave Troll in my hand, or whatever this is called. Lotleth Giant in my hand. Instead of, like, playable magic cards. I'll bring in these Assassin Trophies for picking off their Planeswalkers. So, like, I know Plaguecrafter was good that game, but I actually don't think it's that good in this matchup. Because the opponent's deck has a lot of random Explorer Poopers that they just get to, like, throw in the way of it. Troll takes a lot of effort to make playable. I'm not a big fan of Freebooter. If you watch that game, like, the game comes down to them playing to the board, so being able to interact with their board is better than being able to interact with their hand. Would in fact be too good / broken for standard. So that is a thing that's contextual. Like, what is the infect creature on? Are you talking about Blighted Agent and Inkmoth Nexus, or like cards that are bad? It's very possible to print bad infect creatures. Infect itself isn't inherently too good, but you can put it on cards that make it too good. One of the things that has come up a lot of the time when we've played Stitcher Supplier decks in this format, when people have submitted them, is that the payoff that you are getting from having creatures in your graveyard in this format doesn't feel like it's good enough to make up for playing a 1/1 for 1 a lot of the time. So basically, when you're playing cards that are individually weak but provide synergy, you need the synergy that they're providing to offset them when they're individually weak. And I'm not sure that the Undergrowth cards that this deck is playing can sufficiently do that for this deck. Yep. Well, I guess. All right, so I need to trophy that, right? I'm gonna keep that there. Chupacabra's just pretty good in matches like this. They have another play here. Like, they have, like, another Findbroker. We're probably just going to get buried. They keep looking at their graveyard, so I think they have another Find. Oh, they have Find. So they have Findbroker plus a Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, that's completely reasonable and beatable. That's something we're going to come back from. Kind of, but it doesn't beat the Eldest Reborn that comes up afterwards. And like here, they just had another creature. So like, again, just like Plaguecrafter oft doesn't kill Carnage Tyrant in this matchup because they have so many extra poopers just like throw in the way. Maybe I'm supposed to play Branchwalker there first. The good news is I can get their Findbroker back next turn and then pick my Eldest Reborn back up. So we've got that going for us. They are at 10 as well here. So we've got them a little bit on the back foot. So if they just, that block there was really bad if they don't have a 2-drop here. If they just play Naked Carnage Tyrant, sure, Reborn of their own. They have another Find? Oh, they're just checking their graveyard because of this? Yeah, I'd like your Findbroker, please. Thank you. I would like my Eldest Reborn back, thank you. So they're at 8 here, and I have 8 in play. I mean, is this deck working? Like, what we've done this game is just green-black mid-range, right? Like, the reason why this deck is working is because we're playing green-black mid-range. Alright. I mean, that's the thing. That's the payoff. The giant is like almost lethal here. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's green black with bad cards.
Balance comes.
I don't have enough mana for giant. This giant costs 7 mana, chat. It's very expensive. All right, we did it! Yay! What's your health total at, opponent? I bet it's about to be in a lot less. All right, are we good? I think I'm happy with how I boarded. Let's do it. I subbed for that exact joke and nothing else. I have, for those of you that are new, I have 2 children. I'm allowed to make that joke, okay? Two children, allowed to make that joke. The exile removal is just so hard to turn on. You're just like gonna do nothing for a long time. Unburial Rites could be the black-white guild card, but flashback, so alas. I guess skippable. Seems fine. Stack jumpstart onto it, right? Chupacabra! My Chupacabra is hungry, chat. It's hankering some wild growth walker. I think I have to bin that. I can pick it back up with Findbroker next turn. I just need to give myself the best possible chance to draw lands 5 and 6 on time here. Yeah, maybe we should just turn Stitcher Supplier into the 3-1 that can put a land back on top of your deck. That would like help us hit land drops consistently too, which is nice. This is a good attack here because they know Chupacabra is likely coming down next turn. Yeah, Stitcher Supplier has just been like a consistently underwhelming card when we've played it. I'm gonna leave back my 3-2 so they can't attack me here. It's also possible that, like, we need to be aggressive in this matchup, but at the same time, like, I really can't be aggressive when they're at 29 health.
Are my shield.
Where are the imps asking the real questions? How am I supposed to know who's winning without imps on the board? Yeah, we've played a Journey to Eternity deck before. Man, look how good our undergrowth cards are. Just incredibly powerful. And this is again just like showing one of the core issues with a deck like this is that we're playing a bunch of these underpowered magic cards so we can have these cards as payoffs, but like even here where things are going right for us, our payoffs aren't very good. So like we've warped our deck away from a traditional green-black deck to play these cards that are awkward, and then even when we have them, it's not worth having them, basically. Like, these cards basically need to be better more consistently to be worth putting bad cards in our deck to play them.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I'm gonna play one more, putting the 3-1 in over the Stitcher Supplier, because Stitcher Supplier is just really mediocre in this deck. The Zombies deck is the only one I've tried Stitcher Supplier where it's felt okay, just because, like, the Zombies deck has the Lord in it to make Stitcher Supplier slightly better, but I really feel like the payoff just isn't worthwhile here. Also, can I praise Arena for a minute? Because this is something other Magic Online and a lot of other Magic places don't do. I've typed Glow Space SP for Glowspore Shaman in here, and that's not what this card is named. This card does not have a space between Glow and Spore, but Magic Arena, in its filtering awesomeness, is showing me the card that I actually want to see, which is just A+ fantastic. That's just good, clean filtering interface design, whatever you want to call it. think this is a keep. I'm on the draw. I have Seekers Squire. I don't need green mana right away. Look at that. Never didn't have it. Necrotic Wound looks real bad. I agree. I agree. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. We're up over 1,300 people. Probably about an hour, I'm going to start the sponsored segment, which doesn't change anything for the content. We're still going to be playing Magic like we always do here. But it does mean that I get a little bit of a bonus from Twitch and WotC based on how many people we have watching. So if you enjoy my content, make sure you hang out through the end of the stream today. I appreciate that. So spending part of your Tuesday here with us, folks. I'm gonna attack with this because it's a free block into a. It's a free attack into a free decision. I'm gonna play Plaguecrafter post combat and sacrifice my Squire anyways. So no, I'm just gonna play donation decks as normal Jackal Girl. I don't have to do anything special. What do we got? Actually, Esper Amulet is the deck coming up after this one, which we'll probably have a good audience for. That deck's a hoot and a half. So we've played Journey to Eternity before. In fact, there's a Journey of Eternity to Eternity deck that I really like that's on my website. You know, at jeffhoagland.com and click standard decks at the top to find that there. I just think working around Journey to Eternity is a different deck, and that's not what this deck is trying to do. So when people submit decks, I try to stay true to their theme as opposed to saying, this deck is garbage, let's build something else. So when people submit things, I try to play the deck as they've submitted it. I think I'm going to go ahead and wound this here because, one, it uses my mana this turn, and two, getting this pooper out of play makes my Eldest Reborn better in the future. To set a bar that's incredibly low, we already have much more viewers today than I had yesterday for Modern, so... And even now, 1,300. I think I need 1,500 people on average to get the max payout for the thing, so even this is a good number. I appreciate everybody that's here. How'd Artifact go? Artifact's been okay. I think I like it. I don't know, there's some cards in the game that are like not fantastic. Like the cheating death card is quite possibly the most obnoxious card I've ever seen in any card game ever. But other than that one, I probably like the game a lot. No, there is a lower number where if you don't meet that number, you don't get paid. So if I don't have at least 700 people during the sponsored segment, I don't get any payout. So there's a maximum to get the peak that they'll pay you, and there's a minimum that you have to get paid at all. Yeah, they put Arena on the bounty board. I don't do a ton of bounties because, like, the focus, like, the viewers pay for the content here, but it doesn't make sense for me not to take an Arena bounty, right? It's just, like, a bonus on top of what I'm getting anyways, basically. I'm going to start that in about an hour, the 3rd degree, so about noon. Noon is about usually where I hit my peak viewer count on Tuesdays. I was looking at historical data. Have I seen any good Teamer decks? I've not yet. Teamer is missing both Stomping Ground and Breeding Pool, which makes it tough. Yeah, the cheating death card is in the green video. It's the card that makes you flip coins to see if things die or not. I think I'm just playing this with 2 idiots. Noon is an hour from now. So noon cornfield time is 50 minutes from now. I mean, I don't stand to lose anything about not telling you what it is. Like, As a degenerate modern player of Gristlebrand and Kitesail, I'm super stoked to see the blue-green infinite combo deck in Artifact. If you take death submissions, I'll be ready to add it. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't play Constructed in Artifact yet because we can't buy singles on that game yet. So as soon as they open, and we can't craft cards. So we can't buy singles and we can't craft cards. So I think I'm just gonna play these Plaguecrafters as a Ravenscrime here. Yeah, I'm not just opening packs. That sounds terrible. That's an artifact, goalie. There's a card where whenever a unit would die on a lane, you flip a coin to see if it lives, though. Which is just really stupid. Just incredibly stupid. Sure, there are coin-based cards and variants by design cards in Magic, like Aetherworks Marvel and Collected Company, but none of them are as obnoxious and omnipresent as a card like that. Just like an occasional 50-50 chance or an occasional variance by design thing is fine, but like having everything that happens for the remainder of a game in like one of their lanes be impacted by that is nonsense. In. Yes, yeah, I agree with that. All right, good news here. We're gonna be able to play this Izoni, and we're gonna make some things, and we're gonna be able to sacrifice 2 creatures with it. So even if they have another sweeper here, we'll get to draw 2 cards. So this is the payoff we're going for here. This is what we're looking to do. Yeah, we have a lot of reactive stuff going on in this deck for sure. Hey, Titan Rising, thank you for the 3 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. All right, good enough. Good enough. Yeah, Izoni's very good in the green lock matchup for sure. Gonna bring in these trophies. Trim those. I'm gonna trim those. In the future, will they add trading to Arena? No, they will not. In fact, I am, as someone who is very critical of Arena's card acquisition model, and as someone who's an adult who can learn and grow and admit when he is wrong, I actually really like Arena's card acquisition model more than I like a buy-sell trade model, having experienced it. The 5th card issue needs to be addressed, but outside of what happens to a card that you already own 4 of at the moment, I greatly prefer Arena's card acquisition model to a secondary market. It's nice knowing that my cards are always going to cost the same. It's nice knowing that nobody's gonna buy out a bunch of cards and leave people that want to play the game screwed. As someone who wants to focus on playing games and not deal with speculation, secondary market BS, I like what Arena has going. All right, let's play one more. Apparently we were the Supreme Explorer. I think the rate at which they are addressing the 5th card issue is annoying, and it should be prioritized much sooner than Q1 next year. But as someone who is disproportionately impacted by the 5th card issue because I have a large collection, I'm still prefer this model to the other one. All right, we have 3 guild gates in our hand, but I'm gonna keep because we're on the draw. And our hand is like playable spells in it. Honestly, Burgle, if they don't implement peer-to-peer trading in Artifact, there's a chance that finance people just get pushed out of it, which would be great. Please, for people that aren't familiar with what I'm referring to as the 5th card issue, I'd encourage you to go read the Magic Arena subreddit. There's tons of threads. Professor Knox had a video talking about it. There's a bunch of really good detailed information that'll be much better than what I can tell you in 5 seconds about it. So I'm gonna play Squire here to try and find a 4th land next turn for Chupacabra. There are a bunch of people have made a bunch of different videos. Okay, what I'm about to say, I say with lots of love, and Arena is a great piece of software, and I think it's the best piece of Magic software I've ever played. The Arena team is almost certainly smaller and probably less agile, to use a corporate buzzword, less agile than whatever the team at Valve is doing. Valve is are they a $1 billion company? They're a multi-million-dollar software company. All they do is software. They're very good at it. So again, not to like, you know, they should be faster at what they do, but like saying that like Valve did it so Arena should automatically be able to do it is like, I don't think that's necessarily the truth. Yeah, the Nox emotes are really cute. They're turned out really well. I think I'm leaving Findbroker there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and Finality and pick these creatures back up. Because picking the Plaguecrafter back up is actually pretty good here for us, because it means that they play another Drake, we can take it off the table. Yeah, honestly, I'd believe that too. There's probably more suits that have to sign off on the 5th card thing more than anything. I think that there's a very real chance that the people working directly on Arena would love to solve it and fix it instantaneously, but their hands are kind of tied. And again, that's not an excuse, it's just an explanation for why it is what it is. So do I Glow Spore into Seekers Squire? I think so, right? They give me a good chance to play a land this turn. So this mills 3, and then I can put a land on top. Perfect. That. Did you know we were playing a combo deck, chat? Combo. Better than Eldest Reborn. It's a 1/2, chat. And it's a human. Everybody knows human's the best tribe. No, there's a lot of Izzet Drakes on Arena for sure. The deck's very good and it's very fun to play. The type of gameplay that Izzet Drakes generates is amusing in my opinion. So I'm not at all surprised to see it be pretty popular. Am I just Eldest Reborning this? I feel like I want to Eldest Reborn this. I can also just Chupacabra. I'm just gonna Chupacabra. They're at 16. Like, I'm knocking them to 12 this turn. So, like, adding a 2/2 to the table is, like, pretty relevant here. So, like, this is actually a 2-turn clock if they don't do anything, right? Like, just puts in the 12 and I have 6 power in play. Yeah, Necrotic Wound Find. We are playing a combo deck. Yeah, the fact that there are a lot of really good Magic players working on these various decks, and there aren't consensus best version of these decks is one of the best things about this format. Yep. Alright, so we're going to 12. I'm gonna go to attack for 3 here, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and play Plaguecrafter here, because this puts a second creature back in my bin, which means I can kill this with Necrotic Wound if they bring it back again next turn. Do you expect the format to get worse when the new set drops? I expect it to be different. If I was able to predict the future, I would not spend that power playing a children's card game on the internet for profit. The hey, could you predict the future comments are always the ones that it's just like, yeah, Wound exiles. That's why Wound is great in this particular spot. A little love tap there. Goodbye, friend. They're asking what I think. They're asking me to predict the future. They're asking me to make random wild-ass guesses. And my response is, you're asking me to predict the future, and I think that's silly, so I'm not going to make random guesses. Yeah, everybody wants wild guesses. Wild guesses? Oh god, we're about to get maximized velocity and die, aren't we? I can't believe people play the Drake decks without maximized velocity. Just every time I'm playing against the Drake deck, I'm just like, well, if they don't have maximized velocity, they're dead here. And they're just like, poof, thud. It's just like, all right, yep, card's real good. Real good. All right, let's do it. Just like, so, here's the argument for velocity. Velocity is a card where the ceiling is win the game you have no business winning, and the floor is this thing gets looted away or it gives me double jumpstart for my Phoenix. So just like, it's a card where the ceiling is incredibly high and very powerful, and the floor is still pretty high. So like, when the cost of playing a card is low and the chance that it could blow people out is really high, that's a card worth playing in my opinion. That card ticks the boxes that I want to tick, and a card that I'm interested in playing. Unfortunately, I need lands here. Binning that also makes my Necrotic Wound a little bit better. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Welcome. Just dropping by our little slice of the internet. Do I want to wound this? I don't think so. There's a chance that they put a Phoenix into play next turn because of the Electromancer, and I can cast down the Electromancer next turn. So like, if they like discard and put a bird into play and attack me with the bird, I Necrotic Wound it, exile it, and then can like cast down the Electromancer on the next turn and like smack for 6. So yeah, here's hoping they put a bird into play this turn. We'd really like that to happen. I have no idea. I don't work for Wizards of the Coast. right, I'm just gonna kill both of these now. They're obviously pretty far off of getting a bird here. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill both of these and just pressure them with my 3/2s. Yeah, I agree, Korluski. I've lost games to that. It's very, very good. Yep. All right, they're going to 5. I don't know, Fanir. Like, the issues this deck had when we started, I don't think were related to a meta game. I think they were related to this just isn't cohesive and it's awkward. Thanks for wasting my time. They might have a quest to play blue cards. Ah, yes, the questing. That's a good one to point out. They could definitely be on a quest. Hey, 11 months is a long time. Project Swamp, thanks for almost a year. Welcome back. Thanks for all the absurd support you've given this year. Welcome. How do you feel about Landwar Elves and green-black midrange? I like Landwar Elves, but I explicitly like it when it's paired with Midnight Reaper, because Landwar Elves is good in green-black midrange for getting to the board faster, and then Midnight Reaper lets you turn Landwar Elves into another card later, which is great. I'm actually kind of impressed at the rate at which I've been acquiring gold in client. Like, I think by the time January hits, I'm probably going to be able to buy 50 or 60 packs, if not more, of the new set, just without having to put any dollars in. Obviously, I'll probably buy, like, a couple 100 packs so I can have most of the set to build decks with, but I'll have to buy a little bit less than I normally would just from the collecting stuff from quests. My red quest deck is 20 lands and 61 and 2 drops. God bless. Yeah, having to buy them one at a time is kind of annoying. The bounty board segment has not happened yet. I'm going to start it up probably after we start the Esper Amulet deck, because my viewer count always dips when we change decks, because there's people that leave that don't want to stay for the next one. Yeah, and that's true of most of these games, right? Like, that's true in Hearthstone, too. You just, like, save your money from your quests. Well, we're about to find out if Duress is good in this matchup. What expansion booster should I buy? I would recommend buying guilds because they have the shock lands in them. Ooh. Thank you, Isha. Oh, they didn't have another land. I missed that they didn't have a second land. I was clicking quickly and reading chat. Maybe I should have taken the opt. Very possible I should have taken the opt. Limited their options. Awkward. I did make their Enigma drink bigger here, not wrong. What a tilt. Think we're dead, chat. So final wrap up on this one, I think it's pretty easy. This is just another good example of a synergy deck where the payoff that you're getting ultimately doesn't offset the power level decrease that you see from playing a lot of mediocre Magic cards. Like, just it's tough to enable some of these cards, and when your things don't all come together well, it's not going to work out for you. Installing Arena on Wine is super easy. You literally just install Wine Staging and then install Arena, and it works perfectly. All right, let's play this deck.